Yeah. And Mike just looks at him like, oh, brother, this again. Like, every time I fly this airline, somebody comes up and puts their dick and balls on my shoulder.
He did play with Dennis Rodman, though, so you got to give, like...
He did.
That shit had to happen in the locker room a couple times. You know, Rodman had to come up with a pierced cock, like, what do you think of this, Ed Jordan? Like, that had to happen a few times, but yeah, that just,
All right, so in last place, I got Sean, and then we'll move on. I got Sean Kemp, British Knights, in last place. We good with that?
I don't know about last place.
Compared
who's
to
worse?
Yeah, who's worse than that?
Who's on the list?
OJ and Hurts was tight. That's a good.
No, like Hurts is good. OJ and isotoner gloves, that would be something. Did he ever do isotoners? No, that was a Naked Gun.
Shape ups.
Dan Marino in Ace Ventura. I'm thinking of fictional people. Yeah.
All right, Ryan Sickler thinks Aikman for... sorry. All right, relax. Jesus, he's like, no, that's not what I said.
It's not the fuck I said.
Fuck the crab feast, 5 stars. Ryan Sickler has Joe Montana for shape-ups last.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had it way up because I'm like, yo, that's Joe Montana. Like, why? Like, you know how you get in shape? You go to fucking training camp.
Yeah.
That's how you got in shape. Like, you know, you're telling me you're just walking around Thousand Oaks, California.
With your ass up a little higher.
Well, I got nice tight buns thanks to these Kim Kardashian shoes.
I'm not buying
I'm going to go fuck Ray J.
I'm not buying it. I would buy a pair of British Knights from a guy who had 16 kids before I buy shape-ups from a guy who had fucking 3 Super Bowl rings.
You know what? Respect on that one.
That's right.
I can agree with that.
Jim Rome always said that Joe Montana looks like Barry Manilow. He calls him Joe Montana-low. That's some good gloss.
Joe Montana.
Jim Rome, good night now. All right, so Montana's last at 6. 5, we got Sean Kemp. 4th, you got to give respect to Sweetness. I can't even front. Walter Payton can endorse whatever the fuck he wants. 3, Karl Malone for LA Gear. 2, Troy Aikman for Rena Center.
Yeah.
The number 1 goofiest, most bizarre celebrity endorsement in their prime, Earl Campbell for Skull.
Yeah.
And that's for you right
Good
there.
list.
That's yours. You take that home with you. All right, let's not make any more lists. That was dull.
Well, that was fun.
We were talking earlier, Brad, about how many white homeless people are in Denver.
Yeah, it's weird to see that, isn't it?
You never see an Asian homeless guy, really.
Never. They fucked it up at that point.
You definitely never see an Asian homeless guy with a dog. That's something you never fucking see. Ever.
From way downtown, back in the game.
From way downtown, bang. They're not gonna get him.
I'm just DHing over here.
No, that was a big shot, man.
That was a good one.
Sickler is out on the wing, just didn't even put his hand up, and we just fucking bounce past, thread the paint.
I saw a white homeless guy in L.A. one time. This was my favorite guy because you could tell he was kind of mentally ill, but he had this homeless person logic behind everything. And it was night, and I was in a parking lot, and it was an empty parking lot, and I just had made a wide circle to pull easy into a space. And as I circled, my headlights shot across this homeless guy, and he saw me, and he got scared. He was taking a shit. He was squatting like this. And
How did you not lead with that, by the way?
Just want you to know. And he quickly grabbed, like a tree branch. It might as well have been a number 2 pencil. He just held it in front of him as if they can't see me if I do this. He can't see me taking a shit behind this. And it was like this. And I was like, I don't even see him fucking, can't see me. I don't even see him taking that shit right there. And it made me laugh so hard.
I once came off an off-ramp on a freeway. There was a homeless person asking for money. I rolled down the window of my car. I gave her $1. She looked at me in the car, looked at the dollar, and gave it back. That is a true fucking story. It happened at the Harbor Boulevard off-ramp on the 91 freeway in Fullerton, California. Bitch gave me the $1 back. You're homeless. You have nothing. I had just gotten back from playing golf. I had golf clubs in my fucking car. I was dressed nice in a car. She sees a midget and goes, "You probably need this." Fuck you. Are you shitting me? What did she think? Like, because I'm a midget, I could get a lot of food for that $1 or some shit?
God.
Oh my God! Like that pissed me off so much.
Rumbling, stumbling. You're like, you are Earl Campbell tonight, man. No one's you're on fire.
Not taking me down. I don't know what depression that was.
Cool jazz guy, I'm gonna say.
All right.
I'll let you off the hook. That was fine. It was better than my little Nicky. Who was I doing when you said he sounded like little Nicky?
Who were you doing? You were doing shit. Who were you?
Oh,
Wayne Newton. Yeah, the Wayne Newton.
Oh, here, I saw a homeless guy outside Tower Records when there used to be record stores. And
back in the day.
Right now, there's, 20-year-olds going, what the they're old. And this guy sat outside Tower Records, and I lived on St. Mark's Place, and it was a cool pad, and I used to walk to the Boston Comedy Club. That was my route, and every day this guy would go, just pass some change, never standing up, always sitting down, which I took, points off for that.
Right.
Like, I could see maybe an attitude problem that might be in the way of you being hired. It's that you don't fucking stand up to greet people when you ask them for things. I digress. He goes, could you spare some change? Today's my birthday. And he had a little sign, happy birthday to me. And then this shit went on for almost a year. And then one summer, I'm walking by, and he goes, could you spare some change? Today's my birthday. I go, you said that yesterday. He goes, every day's your birthday now.
Is it like the Mad Hatter? Like it's his unbirthday? He's celebrating that?
Hey,
very, very unbirthday to me. Shout out Ralph Garman for that impression.
Hollywood,
shout out
the fuck on.
Yeah, that was the Ed Wynn impression. Oh my goodness, don't you know? Yeah, that was that one. That's Ralph.
You guest hosted Hollywood Babylon, right?
Yeah, how much fun was that? I heard yours.
So much fun. I'll tell you guys, if you're out there listening, and for those of you in the audience that are new to the podcast world, Hollywood Babylon, you can't go wrong. It's really great. I love the crab feast. My honey bunny over here does the crab feast. I love Jim Jeffries and Eddie If, talking shit with Jim and Eddie. And you know what I've been getting into is Greg Proops' podcast, The Smartest Man in the Room.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Holy smokes, he is so smart.
I have a podcast too.
What's the name of your... what do you think I was going to close
Brad
that with?
Williams has a podcast with Adam Ray called About Last Night.
Thank you, Ryan.
It's a fantastic podcast.
Thank you,
it
guys.
is. You got to subscribe to it.
Thank you.
Adam just did ours. You have to come and do ours.
Oh,
please.
absolutely. Yeah, I'll come do that.
If you guys are done blowing each other, I'd like to get back to some comedy.
I'm not
Listen,
passing
Jay,
up on
you're
4
getting in the
inches
way of
cock.
our love, okay?
Yeah.
Stop
That's
it. It's
4
legal
inches of
here.
good
And you're
dick
on the
over there.
Toad Hop Network. Tremendous. All right, attaboys. Big shout out to our man Frank, holding it down over at the Toad Hop Network of Heidi, Frosty, and Frank. Good job, everybody. All right, now, Denver. You guys smoke a lot of pot.
Yeah.
So much so that a man rode his bicycle 8 miles to the show last night, waited for Ryan after the show, and handed Ryan
A solid eighth.
like a brick.
Some really good.
Like a brick.
Some really good Colorado bud.
It was like a fucking MRE, like a meal ready to eat. Like he was a
waiting
fucking
out.
airborne ranger. Like, here, just give him some fucking food. We got to move, Captain.
It was one of those fortunate experiences for me because he had just had his brother's truck impounded because the police smelled marijuana in it, and they just towed the truck and let him keep the weed, and he had a 16-mile round-trip bike ride in the fucking dark last night and figured, I'm probably going to get arrested, so you take the weed. I was glad to help. And I really enjoy smoking marijuana, and I smoked some last night, and I got up today, and I was like, you know what, Denver's such a great fucking city. I'm going to smoke a little weed, and I smoked some weed, and I was doing some work, and I was telling Jay I got wrapped up and locked up abroad. Have you ever watched that fucking show?
Oh, that's a great show.
And I started getting so much anxiety, like, I started feeling like I was with these people. I was like, they're gonna fucking find the heroin on us. They're gonna find the heroin. I've never done heroin in my life. All of a sudden, I felt like I had 20 pounds strapped to my chest. And I started getting up and walking around like, they're definitely going to find that opium in the book bag, bitch. They're definitely going to find it. And then I was like, God damn, I got to get outside and get into some of this Denver fucking air, man. I'm freaking out in this little goddamn condo. And Colorado air saved my life today, Denver. Thank you all.
All right.
Little fucking...
Yeah.
And weed.
And weed.
You know, it's funny also about that story that we'll hip the audience to. Ryan's staying in what they call a comedy condo. So, like, it's not like he's in a hotel where, like, people are coming and going. He's just alone on an island in a comedy condo. Like, nothing looks familiar. There's nothing in the refrigerator. He's like, fuck, we're really fucked. We ran out of food. Like, you don't know the channels. Like, NBC's on 9? What the fuck? That's how you know you're out of New York and LA.
Dish TV.
Like, look, if CBS isn't 2, NBC isn't 4, and ABC isn't 7, you are in the middle of the country. Like, they go, hey, you want to do Channel 9? And to me, I'm a Jersey guy. I'm like, oh, WOR, they do the fucking Mets games. Or in LA, that's Lakers. That's KCAL 9, mijo. Put it on KCAL 9. The Lakers are coming on.
I used to be Chick Hearn. That's right. I used to be Chick Hearn.
And then, no, that shit was NBC in Denver.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Sat down with Ms. Plant, had a nice interview. And it's always weird when you do local television. You know, you go into like a town in Denver and they're like, hey, you want to do Colorado and Company? And you go, yeah, I'd love to. And every time, there'll be like 3 people in like a little folding chair audience. And, it's like 9 in the morning.
Bunch of
and I
housewives
walk
and
in with my broke ass and I'm like, oh, I should have showered. I look like ass. So I'm in the bathroom putting like cold
Smell
water
like
on my
Boulder.
face. I smell like Boulder. Nice. Attaboy. That was a nice dime. Stockton to Malone. And I'm sitting there, and they go, yeah, let me put a mic on you, and then you're going to be up next. And I go, all right. And then I look over, and there's a cowboy sitting across from the gal, Ms. Plant, and he goes, all these kids that are terminally ill, we put them on horseback and give them equine therapy. And I'm like, I got to fucking follow dead kids on horses? And then literally she goes, coming up, she goes, so make sure you check out this charity. You can help save a life. And this weekend we're having pony rides. All the proceeds go to it was something very like specific, like preteen girls at risk with cancer. Like a weird run on. Coming up next, funny man Jay Mohr. He's at the Comedy Works in Green River.
Oh my God. Is that your worst daytime TV?
No, I'd never told you the story when I was on The View. When I was on The View for the first time.
No.
The View.
I haven't heard this one.
You've heard the story? You watched it? Oh my God! It's when
He's admitting he watches The View in public.
I love The View. I love Whoopi. That's my girl. That's my boo forever. Whoopi Goldberg is my biological father. Oscar, Emmy, Tony, and Grammy. Go fuck yourselves. That's what Whoopi Goldberg should wear that shit around her neck.
Respect.
Steady mobbing. So check this out. He saw it. I was promoting the movie Mafia, which is like a goofy slapstick comedy. And if you watch that shit high, it's way better.
When you're the burn victim, that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, at the funeral.
Yeah, you're fucking...
And she feeds me a little peeled piece of fruit, and I can't get it through my burnt lips. The girl on The View ahead of me was a rape victim.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
That's not even the funny part. Oh my God. I'll tomahawk that shit when I get the chance. Fucking leave it up on the rim. I'm taking it out.
That was good.
That was fucking Charles Oakley fed up with the ball rattling around. Well, I'll take it. So not only was she a rape victim, but her story on The View was that her rapist was getting out of jail that afternoon, and they were sending a live camera crew with her to the jail. Literally, I'm backstage. They just put a mic on me, and she goes, because I want him to know when he gets out of jail today and he looks in my eyes that I'm still here. And this doesn't end. Coming up next, funny man Jay Mohr. And then they show a clip from the movie, and I am literally hitting Lloyd Bridges over the head with a frying pan, and a cat jumps out of his lap and lands on another guy's face. And as I'm sitting backstage, she walks past me weeping and gets in a van with a crew and drives up to fucking Sing Sing prison.
Oh my God.
That was the worst follow. Usually on Good Morning, Tempe or Good Morning College, you always got to follow like somebody cooking something with fucking children.
Or like
we made crepes. We're in 3rd grade and we made crepes. Get the fuck out of here. I got to sell tickets, you prick. But the view, I can't believe you saw that shit. You must have been homesick from 5th grade or something. Jesus.
Oh my God.
I hope you didn't have that beard at that age. He's a good man. Joe, he's a good kid. So yeah, that was the word. If you do the daytime TV?
Yeah, my worst doesn't even come close to that, but...
We'll flip it in post.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to tell my story. Then you're going to tell your story, Jay Mohr.
You got it.
All right. I was on a show in, Virginia, Wake Up with Virginia or whatever, and...
My sister's name, so it kind of sounds weird to me. It's true.